All right. So welcome to my channel. My name is Silences Waffles. This is gonna be a video series about the basics of Destiny 2. It's something I've been thinking about for a couple months now, and I kind of want to roll it back for new players, casuals, hardcore players, veterans, all that kind of stuff. There are a lot of things in the game that I believe we all tend to look over and forget. And even when new players come in, a lot of the times, I'm sorry about that. A lot of the times, there is confusion about just the basic mechanics of the game and basic things that we use every day in this game. And a lot of times when us veteran players or even just the casuals that play the game every day come to explain mechanics for new players, we kind of leave out little small details and tidbits of information that could help them along the way. So the point of this series is going to be to help you guys come into Destiny. So welcome to the world of Destiny. And my first question to you is: so you want to be a guardian, right? I'm sure you have many questions, and we're gonna try to answer them along the course of the series. So I'm gonna kind of read on and off from a script here and there, and then I'm gonna try to like put my own little twist on things too. So bear with me. I'm gonna try to make this video short, but to the point about the current topic at hand, and that is going to be today. The topic today is going to be about you starting your new journey on New Light. As a new player coming into the game, you're going to be welcomed in to what is called the New Light era of the game. They pretty much boost everybody up to a certain level point because we're so far into the story of the game. And at that, you start at 750, a power level of 750, and from there you get put into this mission that is a recap. If you've never played Destiny at all, it's a recap of Destiny 1's original starter mission, just to introduce you into the world of Destiny, right? So for me, this is a little bit nostalgic because I've gone in, I've created a new account just so I can create this video series to show off some of the things that you newer players will interact with. Because on my other account, I'm further ahead. I'm at the in-game content of the newest season and all that kind of stuff. So this is to start from scratch and progress on and show off some of the things that I can't show off on my original account. So without further ado, here we go. So right now we've loaded in the game will have told you to set up your your graphics settings and all that kind of stuff, and when you launch the game, and it'll tell you about the ongoing events and upcoming and new content and stuff like that. Once you finish reading all the on-screen prompts, you'll be prompted to create a character, and I've selected to create a female Titan, one of the three classes. So you have a Titan, Warlock, and Hunter are the three classes of Destiny, and then the race that they ask you to choose, or the races that they ask you to choose, are Human, Awoken, and Exo. Exo being like cyborgs in a sense. Um, Awoken being a almost like a human like humanoid or human like a race that is imbued with darkness and light combined together. And then humans are just humans, they're just normal humans, but everybody that becomes a guardian is imbued with this power of light that helps them do what they do in the game. So you start off, they put you on the ground, we wake up here, we're right here in the game right now as we speak, and going forward you're going to be prompted with buttons and things to press so that you can do. It's going to tell you about the basic movements and things like that in the game. So follow your on-screen prompts. For everybody, it's going to be different depending on your platform, and I advise you to take note of what those things are, because these are going to be things you're going to be using on a daily basis. So for me, I'm on mouse and keyboard. Obviously, I'm on PC. I do have a PS4 controller that I can plug in to give those prompts as well, so I know a few of those. Xbox prompts I'm not too certain on, but I'll try to be as accurate as possible. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. And as future videos come out, we'll try to continue on with the themes across the consoles, or across the platforms. Um, so we get put off right here in the middle of the game. You know, nothing's going on. They tell us to move forward. You see this diamond icon on the screen, and this is the first thing I'm gonna talk about are prompts that show up on your screen. This first prompt here is to tell you, to indicate that this is the direction you need to go in. All right, that's where you need to head. Is that diamond over there on the screen? It gives you your objective over there on the left side of the screen as well, telling you to enter the Cosmodrome, which is the area that we're going to be entering into. And as we can progress forward, it'll start prompting you like, hey, this is the button for sprint, this is the button for melee, this is the button for shoot, this is the button for aim. All of those things are going to show up on your screen. But the more important thing that I want to talk about is this icon right here. The prompt that's on your screen. See, the closer I get, it does not disappear, but the closer I get to it, it will disappear off your screen. You want to focus on this. This is gonna be the focal point of what you're looking for when you're doing quests, bounties, any activity in the game that has you hunting for a specific objective. This is what you're gonna be looking for. Now I will isolate the incidents, the cases where you run into, you won't see this icon on the screen. It's not always gonna be, hey, this is the point that you need to go to, but there is a way to find out and see it and show that on your screen. But again, focus on that diamond. That diamond will always appear when there's something of importance that you need to go towards. Okay, when you're on a mission, this is what's going to guide you to go in that area. This is one of the things. One of them is a couple of different things. First tidbit though, I'm going to go off on a rant about is a radar. That's going to show up in a little bit. Then I'll touch base back on the objective over there on the left side of the screen. So I'm going to progress a little bit further, and I will see you guys in just a minute. Hopefully the music didn't really change too much for y'all. But so you might not hear any gameplay sounds and music or anything like that. I have all that muted in the background while I'm recording this. So again, we see this diamond shaped thing here on our screen telling us where to go. And as we progress forward, you'll see a couple of different ones that, again, continuously telling you where to go. This is what you want to follow. This is going to show you, again, that you're getting closer to your objective. You're getting, you're approaching it fast. You're approaching it at a fast pace, and you're getting closer. So again, focus on these. These are the things you want to look at. When there's a target of importance, you're gonna again see this. I want to reiterate this. This is something that we don't necessarily explain. Like when I say we, I mean like veteran players, even the casuals that have been playing for a while, and hardcore players. Like we all tend to kind of just forget these little tiny things to explain to newer players of what they should be looking for when they play. So this is one of those things to look out for. And if you look over to your left, top left of your screen, this is the first piece of information I'm gonna push out to you, which is the radar. The radar will display at the top left of the screen. When enemies are near, it will light up in 9 directions, and the 9 directions are 8 cones and a circle around a circle, surrounding one circle. So 8 cones surrounding one circle. The circle being the little section where there's a tiny arrow in the middle up there, right? Meaning if an enemy, and when I say it lights up and shows you where enemies are and things like that, and there's 8 cones in all 8 directions, meaning if there's an enemy directly in front of you, it'll light up that specific cone in the direction that you are facing. If the enemy's to your left, slightly, it's like in front of you and slightly to your left, it's gonna highlight that cone. If it's in front of you slightly to the right, it's gonna highlight that cone. So also, if the enemy's directly on you, the center circle that all the other cones are lighting up, that are surrounding, will light up because that enemy is directly on top of you, so it's going to be red. If the enemy's in front of you, it's going to highlight that cone, and if it's further away, as you can see on the screen, you see that little red marker there? That is the outer rim of the circle. That will highlight when the enemy is a few more meters away from you. So just know the closer you get, the more it'll show up on the radar, and the more the radar will light up and go off. This comes to play later in like PvP and all that kind of stuff, where when another guardian gets close to you in PvP, the radar will basically blink and go off. But there are ways to get around that. Like if you crouch in PvP, you kind of hide from the radar for just a few seconds. If you sit still too long, it will blip on the radar, and the enemy can find you there, so they know where you are, potentially. But it takes a little while, so like there's a little bit of a delay there. All right, and you'll constantly be prompted to move during this section of the game. Like this is the intro part of the game, so you constantly be prompted to move. As you're doing this, and as we can continue on, we get closer to this diamond, it disappears, right? And it also showed up on the radar, so keep note of that too. Your objectives will always show up on the radar, no matter what's going on. The closer you get to them, it will show up on the radar, and there will also be something to indicate that you're going in the right direction. And that something is a little tiny arrow, and you're gonna see it right now, showing up right up there at the top as we get a new objective to our left below the radar. But on the radar, what I want you to focus on is that little arrowhead, right? Again, we see this diamond again telling us where to go. This is the direction we need to head in, right? But we also see that arrow at the top on the radar. That is going to be your indicator of what direction to go in, what to find. Now, the biggest part of this is the fact that you will have to use other resources later to figure out where to go, because sometimes that arrowhead does not show up, but it is your primary visual key that this is the direction I need to go in. Okay, it's constant throughout the game, something that is easily forgettable. All right, a lot of players forget about this. They don't even point it out. They go, just follow the map. They'll say just follow the map. You got to keep in mind, follow your radar, your map, your objectives, read them, see the hints, everything you just need to read. Destiny players tend to forget to read. I'm guilty of this myself. A lot of times something new comes out, I'm just in a rush, I want to try to figure it out, and instead of reading it and trying to figure it out, I just tend to just bullhead through it. So keep in mind, read it, look at your screen, make sure to pay attention to your radar, look at the icons, follow those, look for these things to give you a hint of what direction to go in. What else can we go over right now with the radar? All right, I did mention that it won't always show up, so you got to use your other resources to figure out, and other resources will be your map. Again, the objectives, when you get those later, we'll talk about bounties and quests and things like that you'll see, and they'll have hints telling you what to look for. So you got to put all these resources together to figure out what you need to do. But I'll explain, and I'll go into that a little bit later in the series, because we're gonna go over the bits and pieces individually, so that later we bring them together and pretty much show you how it works, right? All right, so let's continue on. It's telling me to go get this gun. I just pick up this weapon, so I'm prompted right there. Whatever your prompt is, whatever platform you're playing on, is going to give you a different prompt. Mine is E on PC. I believe I have that as a custom button. I'm not sure. I would have to reset all my stuff. Actually, no, that is a custom. That is a default button, because this is brand new account, brand new settings. Nothing saved on here. So yeah, E is the default on mouse and keyboard. On controller, if you're playing on PlayStation, square is the default. If you're actually, it might be square or X. If you're playing on Xbox, it might be X or A. So keep that in mind. Those are your default prompts. So got a new objective: survive going through the breach, and it's the arrows working with me. So that when the closer I get to the direction it wants me to go, the arrow will switch and tell me the new direction to go in. So bam, it immediately goes to my left. And here's an instance of where the enemies show up, and the enemy's right in front of me, right? He's in my area, in my little bubble, my personal space. So the radar is blinking really hard, but that enemy's super far away, or not super far, but a little bit further away, and it's in the front cone. Okay, if I turn a little bit, he's in the front right. If I turn a little bit to the right, he's in the front left. Now he's in front of me again. So keep that in mind. You turn, and one of those directions will light up. Get past this guy. I'm gonna punch him right in the face. Game prompts me to melee, tells me what my melee button is. So for me, it's my mouse 1. Or my mouse 4, I mean. So keep in mind, whatever the melee button for your platform is, that's what it's going to guide you to do. Make sure you remember what these buttons are. All right. Shoulder check that guy or knee check that dude. Told him to hold that. Walk across this bridge. Same bridge we saw from over there. Right? Same bridge we walked around to go see. Alright, I got a new weapon because that enemy dropped it. But also, when you get to this section, it teaches you it tells you to loot this box. Alright, again, prompting you again. This is how you open up a loot chest. Boom. I got the same weapon twice. Something they built in a little bit later. You automatically pick it up from that section though, because this is something that they added to the game in year 2. Or not in the year 2, year 3. They introduced new light so players can catch up, because a lot of people were joining into the game and having to grind all the way up. And they were planning on making the game free, and so much content was already released that they decided, hey, let's make a starter area. Not the right grenade, but we'll deal with it. I don't want to show off grenades just yet, but it blows them up pretty good, right? All right, so anyway, back to this. I'm gonna try to speed through this a little bit here. Follow my arrow again, looking where it's telling me to go. It's telling me to go out here, and it's gonna take me out to a nice open area with a lot of enemies and a big giant tank. Now for me, when I saw this, it was nostalgic because I haven't seen this area since I played Destiny 1. So it definitely brought back a lot of memories and almost made me cry. But I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Okay. Here we're supposed to destroy the tank that's there. There's a yellow bar enemy down there. Captain gets bodied by not just me, but this is where you start to interact with other players in the world. All right, there's that diamond again. That tank got dropped. That's something of importance. We got to destroy that tank. Our objective over there beneath the radar has also changed again, once again. All right, and you kind of learn quickly how to use these weapons and what to do in this game. Get to the shooting parts really quick and early. Get at them for good measure. Get up nice, close, and personal. All right. All up in his personal space. Bam at this guy real quick. As you see, shotguns do some damage, man. One more time. For this kind of monster, and I'm gonna give you a hint here, guys. For this dude, you shoot his legs, he'll open up his neck, and you blast his neck apart. All right. Now we just got to defeat regular enemies. So just punch a couple guys in the face. 100% done. Good to go. You'll run across many different enemy types in this game, and we'll go over that in the later part of the series as well. And I'll break down every enemy type. What guns they use, what kind of guns they use, what kind of shields they have, all that kind of good stuff. So right now I'm gonna run past this area because obviously it's telling us to go. This is where I'm going to stop my character. Okay. So again, I wanted to touch base on the on-screen prompts and everything like that, but I also want to touch base on that objective over there. The objective will always when it's a newer objective and you're on a story mission, a quest, or anything like that, the objective will always display on the screen like that. Okay, and it's a small way to guide you, or giving you cliff notes about, hey, this is what your current goal is, right? If you press whatever your ghost button is, and by ghost button I mean you get to pull out your little friendly guy that was talking to you in your hand, and that's the ghost. It tells you what area of the game you're located in. All right, so later when we go over the map, this is going to be a part of that too. When you pull out your ghost, it tells you the area to help you navigate where you're going and tell you what area of the game you are in. Now also, when we do this, you notice it says track quest over to my right, and then it also says get to the jump ship over to the left. All right, now my camera's flipped, so because I'm using those arms, it might look like I'm going in the wrong directions, but I know which arms I'm using. So yeah, for the objectives, it says get to the jump ship right there over to the left and under the radar, underneath the radar. It keeps it there for a specific reason. It wants you to pay attention to the radar and the objective, so you know what to look for. Like, it's always kind of directing your eyes and where you need to be looking. So here, once you press the ghost button, aka tab or whatever the heck that might be, it just gives you a brief explanation of what you're supposed to do. So it says search for the jump ship in the nearby facility and escape the Cosmodrome. This is your mission. This is your quest. This is your bounty, whatever you're currently doing, right? If you're in a mission on a planet and it has an objective like this tends to stick on the screen, and this is what it'll look like. When you're not doing a mission or anything like that, you will not see anything like this. If you're just doing a quest line for a specific weapon or anything like that, and it's just telling you objectives to do, this will not show up on that part of the screen. Quests, bounties show up on the right side of the screen where it says tracked quests. It doesn't say track bounties, but it tracks bounties over there as well. You can only track three things at once. So if you had 4 bounties and 2 quests, you could only select three of those things. So you could technically have 2 quests and then 1 bounty selected, or the 2 bounties and 1 of the quests selected. Stuff like that. That's all you can do. Hopefully they'll expand on that later in the future, and we have more robust features with the UI. But currently, right now, this is all we get. This is currently called nav mode, as you can see on the right side of the screen and right above me. That's basically what this screen is. You pull it, but I call it the ghost screen. All right, it is the ghost screen. You pull out your ghost, and this is what you see. Okay, we'll elaborate on this a little bit more. If you hold the button for the ghost, it'll open up the director, which we'll go into in the next video. This video is really just a touch base on this first part and go through the first mission, telling you about the prompts and things to keep an eye on. Again, we see that diamond. I'm pointing this stuff out because these are the basic things that we tend to forget to tell new players, and things that the new players tend to forget about after they get done their first couple of missions. You know, when they get put out into the world and told, hey, it's time for you to be out on your own and do your own thing and go explore. And people, the first thing that comes to mind is usually, the first thing that typically happens is people say, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. And there's steps. The game does actually put you in the steps. The next video is going to start off at the tower, which is where we get done here. Which is, you know, us getting done here. And then we finish off the mission. So I'm going to blow these guys up. I'm also going to do this because I just want to. That's our super. We're going to clap everybody in this room. All right, as fast as we can. Hopefully we can get them all with the super. No, we got one guy over there. He thinks he's hiding. Hit him with a rocket. Got his buddy over here. Hit him with a rocket. And we're done. I'm gonna let the video roll out with this, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you hanging out. You can catch me live on Twitch, over on Twitch at Silences Waffles. I'll put all this information down below, and I appreciate you guys watching, checking out the video, and I hope you have a good journey. I probably could have put a fade on that video, on that camera. We'll get that. We're ironing out the bugs. All right. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a good day.